starting this week? You want to start?
No, I think Chris should start because
you did start well last year. Yeah.
Well, guys. Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and we are at the Letting and Estate Agent TV show. Roll them tiles. Well, here we are again. This week's second, they let us off.
Yeah, the pilot went so well, they gave us a second episode.
Yeah. And we've got special guest in the room, Nathan Emerson. Hi, welcome. Tell us, so who the hell, for those of them that have been living under a rock, who the hell are you, mate?
Who am I? That's a good question. I ask myself that every single day. So yes, I'm now a consultant to the industry. Previously,
not another one.
Another one, absolutely.
Another mentor.
Another, no, don't do that one. So yeah, I was previously a partner with Pygott and Crone Estate Agents in
award-winning,
multi-award winning, blah blah blah.
Big in the game.
Big in the game.
So you've been chatting with Nathan today. So that film, well, those films, a series of films will come out later on the Land Farm Group, Chris's LinkedIn channels, all that sort of stuff. Once they've been edited and polished and given a little bit of a tickle.
Lots of content because they filmed two 32 gig memory cards. Yeah, so big chat.
Cheers, lads. Thanks. Thanks for that content.
Well, you've got a new MacBook, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
So, give us an abridged version of kind of what you've been chatting about.
Some highlights of the chat.
Well, Nathan was a bigwig in Pygott and Crone, but he got involved in the industry over the last few years, going to, he's big in Arla, big at A&EA and the RAN network.
We've been to Arla.
We have.
Yes.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah, it's good.
Little Arla.
Actually, if you don't mind me saying, boys, I think the new shelf from last week looks really good.
Well, we've populated it with fun things, and so if you've got stuff, John Paul, like a book to send John Paul, that could go on our wall, John Paul, then please do drop one.
Or any other agents if you've got a fixed flow stress ball from your own company, for example.
Or if you've got any estate agent, like stress balls or anything, send them over.
Or a set of one dome.
So what you mean, guys, is anything free?
Yes.
You want anything free? Free. Send it in to these guys. They want free. Okay.
It's got to be branded up. The cheesier, the better.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so what we were talking about was Nathan used to get asked an awful lot of these do's. How do you run a business? One office networks, 4 or 5 office networks, and he was spending more of his time helping people than probably his daytime job, but he was doing very well. And I think we came to the conclusion that you're the sort of person that really gets turned on by helping people and making a difference. And you thought to yourself, you're in your early 40s and you wanted to make a difference and take your career in a different direction. And I tell you what, there is the one huge thing that Nathan told me that made his firm get through the 2007-2008 crash. Was amazing.
What was it?
Well, let's ask the man himself.
Hey!
What was the one thing, Nathan?
Because that was awful. I mean, we all remember
for the industry.
For the industry, that was pretty horrendous.
Absolutely.
But not just property. The whole. I mean, I owned property then. Had a real nightmare. I owned a property before.
You tried being an estate agent, mate.
Well, I wasn't an estate agent, but I was a landlord for a period because we had no option other than to let a property that I could not sell because I bought at the height of the market in 07.
This guy here
was a landlord.
There you go. This guy here, the market went tits up. Can I say that?
You can tits up. Yeah, it's our show. We can say what we like.
Okay.
Tits up.
Okay, yeah, probably too much. And he had 150 wages and 60 cars to pay for every month with no sales coming in.
Crazy.
Wow. Multiple offices. So come on then, what the hell did you get through it? Tell the guys in the estate agency, land and lettings agency, and the one thing that saved Pygott and Crone.
Teamwork. We were together.
Okay.
And you can't ever put a value on that. It was a group of guys that owned a company that actually
all pushing in the right direction.
Put the staff before ourselves.
Like you and me, big guys.
So what we actually did, we put the team before ourselves. We took the hit, we took the sacrifices.
You poured a lot of money in.
We poured a lot of money in, and equally we were dealing with quite unique circumstances. Sure. Unfortunately for us, our senior partner at the time passed over just between the Christmas of 2007, just as it fell off. and that caused issues. Amazing guys, and to be fair, all my fellow partners and directors at the time stepped up to the plate, and we put ourselves behind the teams.
The one thing that I got out of the apart from obviously the big loving and the fact is you put your necks on the line, and and you basically mortgage yourself up to the hilt, little things like that. Was the way you said your qualification in fact is that you saw the business as a colander.
Absolutely.
And the amount of business that you saw was leaking out.
Absolutely, and I think that's the same with any business really. I mean, the ideal is you've got a saucepan that holds that water.
No holes.
Absolutely, but every time there's something just trickling out of your business, at the end of the day, there's two things happening. Firstly, it's weakening you and it's reducing your pool. And secondly, that's actually giving business to other people, because if you're not dealing with it, other people are.
It up,
and so it's almost like that proverbial reservoir, really. At the end of the day, if there's water leaking out the pipe, the reservoir goes empty. By plugging those holes, and as things come in, you then start to go the other way. And I think for us that we were a very successful firm. Everything we did was working. The market became very tough, and we then had to make sure we plugged as many holes as we could do. I mean, it's a very tightly run business anyway, but actually you suddenly realise time that you've really got to knuckle down.
Was that a really long meeting where you're like, let's?
I think it was a series of several meetings. You with any company, you gave us the opportunity to go from the company top to bottom. And I think coming out of that, and the guys are ploughing on now with expansion and growth and things like that. It makes you take a reality check, and I think actually a reality check more regularly is probably what a lot of businesses could do with their own.
Let me show you this interesting stat, and I cannot mention the name of the firm because I've been given this in confidence.
Loves a stat.
Everyone loves a stato.
But there's a
stato.
There's a firm out there that does mystery shopping, and they mystery shopped 100 estate agents with one of these online valuation models. So they've got this online, value your house in 30 seconds. And they put their details in, and I will be straight with you, it was a fake telephone number but a real email address. Okay, basically saying I would like a valuation of my property, and over 30% never heard anything back.
Didn't get an email or call.
Didn't even get anything.
Is that people being too busy nowadays, or that's just poor customer service?
Well, I swear I've been to read somewhere, or went to a Rightmove conference, and the Rightmove leads that come through, I think the same sort of percentage don't even get called back. I mean, what the hell are we doing as a bloody industry if we can't ring back? What do you think?
Absolutely, and I think it's quite interesting you say that. I mean, at the end of the day, one of the biggest topics when you speak to most estate agency owners is the cost of the online portals, Rightmove, Zoopla, whatever. And
are they worth the money?
Well,
we'll do that in a second.
I think let's look at that in a minute. But for me, I think the truth is, if you're paying for that medium and it's then producing you potential business, it's very difficult to then criticise the cost of that medium that you've invested in if you're not then actually following up and making use of the opportunities that it presents.
Talking about cost, that sounds like a series of videos that's going to be great for the landlord farming community. They're going to be out in a few weeks' time for everyone to have a look at. Probably be a series of half a dozen at least films. Talking about cost, you met up with Jerry Lyons recently. In the Queen's Garden.
We just outside Buckingham Palace.
And
me and Jessa.
How did you get into Buckingham Palace?
Is it? Do you know Liz? Big Liz. We should get a Liz, like Superman. There's a Liz. I might have Liz for next
there is a Liz Boblet.
She's got a corgi.
It's like when I go down to London, I was always travel in the front of the carriages. And I met last week 3 famous people going down. John Prescott.
I wouldn't brag about that.
Okay, coming back, Sir Alan Bennett, Pray Night, and also me and Thora Heard. But there was someone in the middle who was even more famouser.
Who's that?
Who do you think?
Richard Branson.
No, bigger than that.
He doesn't own them anymore.
No.
It's not Virgin anymore.
No, bigger than that.
Bigger than Branson?
Bigger than Branson.
Not the fake Queen with
that. The fake Queen.
No.
The fake Queen. Have you seen that video?
No.
Go on.
Peter Knight.
Peter Knight. Peter Knight.
Big in the game.
EA Masters Property Academy.
I'm not sure he's quite as famous as Richard Branson, but still. He's big in the estate letting agency. I'll give you that.
I tell you what I learnt from him. What a man.
Absolutely.
Right, because you were involved with the Property Academy, weren't you?
Yeah, I did spend quite a bit of time there. He's very knowledgeable bloke.
Knows his
onion, so to speak, and very perceptive as well. Very perceptive.
Go back to Jerry Lyons. So talking about cost, we were talking about video content a lot. Obviously, we talk about video content a lot, about how relatively inexpensive, obviously, it is to produce. If you've done a course, one of our courses, someone else's course, I don't care. But obviously, we are massive advocates of doing video in this agency. And Jerry was talking to Chris about video content and also about doing things for a period of time rather than just dipping the toe in and playing the long game. So I think we should have a look at that video as a little bit of a prelude to all these videos being released. So
No, Ron BT.
I know plenty of people that try something then give up after 2 months.
Yeah, it's a long game. It's a long game, and there's no magic bullet that will get people racing unless you go down the silly fees route. And you might run a few instructions, but what's going to happen in 2 years' time? You know, if you haven't done your
It's a race to the bottom.
Yeah, and who wants to be there? It's a hard place. It's a hard place to be at the bottom of any industry. You know?
I think the magic thing is you've got to be part of the community, be hyper-local, talk about stuff that's of interest to your potential clients, which is the local community. Yeah. We're in such a unique position as an industry that all of our business is local to us.
Yeah. You know what would be an absolute... It's only come to me now as we're speaking. You know what would be... I hate the word, I hate the phrase, so you can hit me in the face if you want. Game changer. I hate that word, but this could be... Imagine an estate agent...
Disruptive. Please don't say you're going to use that.
No, I'll punch myself in the face if I say that.
Game-changing disruptiveness. Right. Go on.
Could you imagine if a local estate agent, might not work for ones that are big regional ones, they might do, said, you know what, we're going to give 10% of our turnover, of our profits, back into the community. A bit like innocent drinks do. Imagine if that's only just come to me. That really is something that's going to get loads of good PR. There will be an element of cynicism. I'm just working it through my head now. But that's a proper game changer. Not having a new website, that ain't a proper game changer.
And you only have to spend the money if you bring the money in anyway. So
exactly, and then it's the gift that keeps giving, because you're doing... I bet that would motivate certain
Because I know some agents that give so much back to the local school.
Yeah, there's that, but you make it a policy. So it's almost your why. We're in this business to sell houses, but also to contribute. Imagine you could, I don't know, you raise 10 grand and then you build a playground. I'm thinking off the top of my head here.
Now we're getting somewhere, because you're actually got a target and you can actually say this playground was built because of you, not just a pot of money that just...
Yeah. And from my experience with estate agents, when I first got into the industry, people would say to me that weren't in the industry, you better watch yourself. When you walk in there, make sure you've got your wallet in. Do you know, this sort of stuff, as you're going back out of the offices sort of thing. That's never been my experience. I can literally count on one hand the bad times where I thought an estate agent stitched me up by taking content and not paying for it and blah, blah, blah. Most agents want to do the right thing. But the really, really good ones, they all do the right thing. You know, you think about it yourself, you would know. The ones that are at the top tier, they're not dodgy. You know, they're honest guys.
I think most people in this world are honest. It's just that there's always a few bad apples.
But one thing I would say, if I can think of the top 5 that I deal with and the top 5 that do really well, there's lots of things they do exactly the same. They treat everyone with decency. They always pay on time. It's a funny one, that, you know. You can judge someone by how quick they pay you. And they're community-based as well. So with that 10% idea that's just come out from our conversation, if I was an estate agent thinking, how am I going to really stand out from the crowd, you know, and appeal to the sort of customer I want, I'd probably go down that 10% route, because that could... If I'm dealing with 2 agents and the valuation's the same, of my house, let's say we call them in for a valuation, the only differential is that I know, right, if I go with this guy, they're both very good, by the way, they're both very good. If I go with this guy or this girl, they're going to put 10% back into the community where I live. That would influence me. I'm not saying it would. Some people wouldn't give the monkeys. Wouldn't care. They'd be like, no, I just care about what's in my pocket. But interesting. I might look into that myself.
Well, the question is, what do you lot think? Put your comments below. Thank you very much, Joey.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. So, hope you enjoyed that one. Chris has fixed the audio on that video, but we've had a lot of emails into PBS Towers this week about audio. The weather's lovely, everyone's loving an actual summer.
Hence the sunglasses.
Indeed, one dome.
One dome.
For the mother's brand.
One dome.
Anyway, so a lot of people have been filming outside, and some people who have not got the right kit and they're just using their phones, they're getting real issues with audio problems with the wind. You know, that nasty scratchy noise. So we've got one of our previous training videos
with a slim Chris, actually.
With a slim Chris and a lovely, sexy pink feather boa.
Yeah.
So if you are having problems, send us an email. We'll signpost you to this video or recommend some stuff you buy. But let's have a look at this video.
Hi, welcome back to Property Video Solutions and to our studios in Grantham. I'm Chris, and today we're going to talk to you about wind. So when you're recording your videos for your letting or estate agency, a lot of the time you'll be outside, and wind is a real problem and can really diminish the quality of your production purely in the audio. So what we're going to do today is talk about a really important bit of kit. This is a wind muffler. So really inexpensive, and what it will do, just clip on the top of your lapel mic, which we spoke about in other videos as being super important. And what we're going to do is show you what wind does to your sound. So we've got a little standing guest today. We've not seen him for a while, so Mr. Watkin is back. And as we know, Mr. Watkin, he has now got a bit of wind. So chances are you'll not be able to hear anything that I'm saying because the wind's going to be effectively totally killing all of the sound. So what's really terrible is this scratchy, horrible audio that you're going to get. Now what we're going to do is just pop this little chap on the top of my microphone, and almost instantly that sound quality will improve. So the sound's still here. You can see the wind going through the back, through all of the curtains that we've put in just to show that we've got some audio and some wind. So you should still be able to hear, even with a really strong wind, and I can be talking almost into the wind, you're still going to get nice clean sound. So thanks very much for watching. Buy yourself a cheeky wind muffler for not a lot of money, and your audio will improve.
Did you like the pink came out?
I enjoy the pink. Do you know what? I think a feather boa on you is a look that is underused.
A very
underused.
Strong look, underused.
It is a strong look.
I think you guys need locking up.
Okay, so...
But it's a great bit of kit. Go my way.
Okay, let's bring it back to Nathan. Nathan, what would you do if you were running countrywide?
Oh, that's a question.
We got time for this.
It's a quick one.
Yeah, go on then.
I think actually, if you look at it from the outside, countrywide it has probably got a degree of reversing itself back from its previous direction.
Yeah.
And I know they've got their issues at the moment, but I think the actual underlying business model itself actually is pretty consistent. I think obviously more investment back into the front line, really, business winners, etc., is probably, I would guess, the route that they will probably.
Paul Smith wrote.
The fashion designer.
No, the head.
I like his stuff.
No,
the head aftershave.
Beautiful.
Paul.
Hey, Paul, if you want to send a bottle in for our show.
Put it in behind.
Sorry, property.
Sorry, back to property.
Paul Smith is the MD and CEO of Heart, Spice Heart.
Oh,
probably he could send us some Heart stuff in.
No.
Why not?
Well, yeah.
It's a lovely purple.
It is a lovely purple. It's like John Paul's Castledine purple.
Okay. And he actually said it would be awfully bad for a state agency to lose countrywide.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Why would it be bad?
I think you've got to bear in mind that a lot of the independent companies that are out there today, if you look at the business owners, many of those came from corporate environments in the first place. And I think the minute you start disintegrating some of the core areas of our industry, whether you agree with them or not and you fight them on a daily basis, I think the one thing for our industry is it actually needs to support itself and go forward together, really. Yeah. And I think the minute you start taking some of the bigger players out of that industry, you don't understand the effects that can actually then have through the rest of the industry. So it's a whole effect, really. Sure. So I would agree entirely with him on that respect, really. I think you need whole variety in the market.
Awesome. Bringing it back to video.
Obviously.
Hashtag love video.
Hashtag love video. But also, hashtag love video.
Speaking of hashtags.
But also
our friend in
property. Our friend in Sheffield, Maz.
Hi, Maz.
Who owns Sheffield
Hi, Maz.
Has had phenomenal statistics for his destination film.
True news.
It's true news.
Not fake news.
It's not fake news. Has had a phenomenal response to hashtag love
You've just sent some numbers through, haven't you?
He has, but we're not going to share them this week because we're just going to wait to see how.
Is that because there's not enough zeros on it?
There's loads of, do you know what? There's loads of zeros.
Zeros.
There's loads of zeros. But we're going to share the stats in next week's show once we've got them all from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from Twitter. The impressions on Twitter are ridiculous. But our good friend Vaughan Vornelius, Lettings God of Wrexham.
Belvoir Wrexham. Hi, Vaughan.
He released his Wrexham trailer this week, and to say that we're happy with the response would be an understatement. So, how many views does it have, Matthew?
200?
No.
700?
No, it's had 6,000 views.
Yes, it has.
In 2.5 days.
Those are fantastic eyeballs, and let's be honest, we as estate agents, you need eyeballs, you need the attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the question is this: is the video talking about how wonderful their estate agency is, what market share they've got, how brilliant they are, how much better they are than the estate agents? What is it talking about?
Content marketing. So content marketing, like
talks about their town.
Talks about their town. So
being part of the community.
Association, of course it is.
Yeah.
And Jerry Lyons, massive advocate. You're a massive advocate. We've been doing some bits and pieces with a couple of other companies that you've interviewed, talking about becoming a digital mayor. Gary Vaynerchuk, Tom Panos, Tim Ferriss.
Love you, Tom.
Hi, Tom. But basically looking at content and how content about your place and your town sets you apart from your competitors.
Because you're talking about stuff that interests the people, which is not you, it's their property.
It is property.
It's not property, it's the town.
But it is property, but it is also the town. So, you know, in Vaughan's case, you know, there is a lean on Beaver, or Belvoir, if you're not from Grantham, Belvoir. But if you're from Grantham, Beaver. Although in Wrexham apparently Beaver means something completely different, doesn't it, Vaughan? And
I went to Beaver at the weekend.
did you?
Yes.
Shocking.
Yeah, feet Tom.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop. Would you want to drop a video in?
Yeah, Johnny, that's a great one.
30-second clipping of Chris and Matt raving.
The laser show.
At Pete Tong in Beaver. Whoop, whoop. Video and property. Wrexham, phenomenal place.
I love Pete Tong.
It has had a bit of bad press, and this sort of film goes out of its way to highlight what's great about it, what's great about the town, what's great about the community, and is a real part of your digital mayor strategy for local people.
Okay.
That some people are doing super well.
Any lasers in this one?
There's no lasers,
No.
but yeah, digital mayor's performing really well. People like Adam Mackay, hi Adam. People like Lorraine Thompson, hi Lorraine. People like Matthew and Elle, Orchards and Yeovil. You know, they really are pushing forward. Luke Sinclair.
Well, look at what Michael's doing in Bourne.
Michael Hollenby.
He's doing the Bourne property show. I'll be absolutely honest with you. It really is them behind the desk talking just like this. And after around 12 weeks, so for 20 minutes they talk about the Bourne property market.
Yep.
Not about themselves. They're reading articles about the Bourne property market have been ghostwritten for them by someone who I don't know.
This guy.
Yay.
Talks about what's selling. He goes and interviews people in the town, why they love the town so much. And Bourne has a population of 17,500 people, and after 12 weeks, every episode that gets chucked out, the average view time is 18 minutes.
Fantastic.
Okay, and the average number of views is between 3,000 and 4,000.
That's good.
How the hell can you
Well, you can't beat that. It's free advertising.
Well, the eyeballs of 3,000 or 4,000 people deliberately
in your town.
watching.
Yeah.
Not hire an estate agent, come and use us, we're effing brilliant,
Just
our
looking
whiz of this
at
bit.
this is Bourne. This is what the market's doing, and that is very property.
He gets
focused.
stopped in the street.
Yeah, Lorraine got stopped in a fish and chip shop.
She did, yeah.
Someone we know, Mr. Watkin, got chased down the street in central London because someone recognised his happy face.
No, that's because he hadn't paid his barter.
Speaking of, you owe me 50 quid. Anyway, talking about content, let's have a quick look at Vaughan's fantastic Wrexham
Just
film.
putting him as the position as the go-to man in property.
I love Wrexham.
I love Wrexham because it's the home of Wrexham Football Club. I love Wrexham.
I love Wrexham because it's got fantastic food and drink.
I love Wrexham because it's got fantastic heritage and places to visit.
Carry Wrexham.
I love Wrexham because it's got a fantastic property market.
I love Wrexham because it's a home of Welsh football.
Wrexham's a fantastic place for business.
I tell you what, that backing track was amazing.
Thanks, mate. That film, we're super,
It's a wee thing, isn't it?
It's a wee thing. It is a wee thing. It's a wee thing that...
Chris shudders with eyes and wheeze.
It's collaborative, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're super happy with that. It's gone down phenomenally well in Wrexham. But we'll share the Sheffield one next week once we've got the stats as well, because Maz has very kindly
if anyone's interested on return on investment, these are the stats for you, or Roy. These are the stats for you. It's not just a video that's pretty and no one will watch. It's a video that's engaging that people from your area want to watch.
People want to know what's happening in their locality and they want the good news.
Of course they do.
They do.
So by actually shouting about the locality and you're involved with that, then people will associate you with good times. And the magic thing is this, these videos aren't plug and play once and off you go.
Nope.
You can just keep rolling them out every few months.
Every few months. They've got about an 18-month lifespan. You can share them every month. People who haven't seen them will see them.
Job done.
Fantastic. Anyway, thanks for coming to see us, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Fun.
It's been awesome.
Good day.
I'd love to book you back in.
Thanks,
Hey.
So
Who's signing us off?
well, I think what we're going to do is thanks very much for watching the second episode, and it's a big shalom from all of us. So shalom.